appreciate the fact that it, I mean, before Be Live, you couldn't even do this, but
it was working great for a while.
I know. Well, yeah. There's always like, whenever I do stuff with Ardo, they have so many problems with Be Live. And I was like, really? Be Live always works for me. And then, like, as soon as I said that, shit started happening. So please comment if you can see us. Please comment. Look where you're from.
Are they commenting?
Well, I don't see any comments.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Let me see. Come on.
You guys desert us?
Now I can't get it to show up on my phone.
Oh, God. Problems are following us.
All right. Yep, they're commenting.
Are they?
Still can't.
We still can't see it.
Yeah, we still can't see you, people. So I don't know.
Ugh.
I'll try refreshing again. I don't have my hopes up. Button that I can push.
Okay.
I can comment.
Oh, you are?
I can comment, but I can't see my comment.
Yeah, it's not coming up on mine either.
Oh my God.
Sucks.
Okay, I'm gonna push.
Are you just pushing buttons?
I'm just pushing buttons. Comment, show, hide comment, show. Be Live Production Studio. Comments from Facebook Live post appear on Be Live. No, they don't.
Yeah, I see that.
I know. Because that's the only thing. Oh, God. I hate Be Live. Apparently, there's a new one called Zoom.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to look into something different.
I know. We might have to just do that. I mean, even as the comments, I would say, I don't know. I don't know.
Sucks.
I'm going to keep doing it. Going to pop up. Like, why? I don't understand technical difficulties. Like, let's just fix this. Let's just have it be.
I know. It's so cryptic. It like works sometimes and I see that came up. Where you
I wrote that.
Yeah, but that came up.
I know. I could just have a conversation with myself.
All right.
Have we had this problem before?
No, we always manage to get on.
I know. Norma says try going live on another device, except Be Live only works on computers. You can't use your phone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know what to do.
I don't either.
We could just push refresh again. When I contacted them, I said I have problems seeing the comments sometimes, and they said push refresh.
Well, duh.
You do it. Can you refresh?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters for you to do it because you're the guest, but
Does nothing.
all right. Well, I don't know. I'll contact them again and see if they have any other suggestions. I mean, I think when you contact them, you get like somebody in India who's like, I don't know, like I think they probably have like three kind of standard answers for what to do, but I don't know how helpful it actually is.
Oh, what are those help desks? Yeah, maybe we can find a different outlet or something.
Yeah.
But listen to the podcast.
What?
But listen to the podcast.
Yeah, for our podcast. So sorry. I'll look into Zoom and if you have any breastfeeding questions, we'd love to help you. And you can check out the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com.
Yeah, badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com.
Norma is really trying to help. She said,
oh,
I Googled and they said remove the app and then reload or try using another device. Except that it's not an app. So
Norma's so sweet. Thank you, Norma.
I know. Thank you for looking into that. I don't understand the app because it's not an app. And then you like log in from the computer, and you can only use your laptop. Well, all right.
Wait a minute. There they are.
Hey! Oh my God! Everybody who stuck around.
People, you were wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Norma, you fixed it. I think Norma fixed it just because she kept trying to fix it. Oh my God. Cool. Okay.
Awesome. Woohoo!
So, next
like,
time.
I don't know what happened, but it like bounced back on.
So. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's go. Oh my God. Thanks, Norma.
You're so sad.
Okay, so. All right, let's start from the beginning. Where's everybody from? I'm from Chicago.
I'm from Rochester, New York.
A friend of mine was in town and she was like, so do you guys just to do the podcast, do you just like meet up at each other's house? And I was like, she lives in Rochester. And she was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, it's 2018. Get with it.
I know. People say it all the time too. Oh, I'm like, she's not local. Monday.
Okay, where's the okay? Leslie's the last comment I see, though. I will say that. So tell us where you're from, and we'll see if people are. Oh yeah, there's lots of people telling us where they're from.
Yeah, so maybe it's just like 20 minutes behind, and like in another 20 minutes, we're gonna get a whole slew of like.
This is not. Oh my God, that's so sad. Should I try refreshing it again?
Yeah, why not?
I feel like that. What do we have to lose, right? This is. I mean, I do have my phone here. I could read the comments. Maybe they'll pop up again in a minute. I can just read where people are from. Phillipsburg, Missouri. She's from Mexico, living in Spain. Chilhowie, Missouri. Missouri? West Texas, Georgetown, Crawfordville. There's a lot of places I haven't heard. South Haven, Mississippi. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Nikki's expecting baby number 3.
Oh, yay!
Okay, so hopefully the comments will like get their act together in another couple of minutes. But what we can do is, so first of all, since I can see the comments right here, let's try to limp through like a couple minutes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll fill in again.
Yeah. So I am Abby, the badass breastfeeder, and this is Diane. She is a lactation consultant, and we host the Badass Breastfeeding podcast together. And
listen.
Yeah, it's a weekly podcast. It comes out every Monday, and we have 54 episodes now of pretty much everything you can think of. So if you have breastfeeding questions, you should definitely check out the topics. And also, Diane would really love to answer some of your questions. So if anybody has any breastfeeding issues they're going through right now,
we could too, because it'll give us more ideas.
Yeah, suggest topics. If you have topics for us, suggest topics. If you have an issue right now that you would like to for us to try to answer for you, let us know, and we can do that. And yeah, just comment right here with your question, and we can try to help you. And yes, and you can find the podcast.
And let us know if you listen. Is anybody listening? I'd love to hear if you already listened to it.
Does anybody listen? Okay. Brenda, this is a good one because Brenda would like to know how she can produce more breast milk.
Brenda. That's kind of a loaded question, Brenda. There's a lot that goes on with that.
And we do have an episode on milk supply.
Yes, but I'm wondering why you think you don't have enough breast milk. That's always
the first question I ask too. What makes you think you don't have enough? Okay. Okay, we can work with these and keep commenting because we can work with what we have here. So breast milk, do we have like, because I notice as far as breast milk goes, is that people kind of assume that they don't have enough breast milk because either their baby's like fussy while breastfeeding or their breasts just don't feel very full.
Yeah, and that's all normal stuff too. Brenda, how old is the baby? Let's
see if I can get back to here to Brenda. It's so much easier to read it on here. Here's Brenda. Because it's just easier to read.
Yeah. Oh, foods that are marketed toward breastfeeding women, yay or nay? While we're waiting for.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like what, Kristen? Like you mean like lactation cookies or like just like oatmeal, water, things that people suggest? I'm not real sold on it, but some people swear by it. But I never really noticed a difference.
Diane's a major skeptic of stuff like that.
Huge skeptic of that.
And I'm the girl who was drinking like 5 cups of lactation tea a day. And you know what? Honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I thought it tasted good and I needed to be hydrated, and I thought this was kind of fun because I was a breastfeeding mom, and I kind of thought it was kind of fun to be drinking lactation tea, and like maybe it did help. I don't know.
I mean, if you like the flavor of it, then it's not a problem. Like big deal. It's not a big deal. But there's some people who are like, oh my God, it's disgusting. I choke it down. Well, I mean, why you?
And she says, yes, lactation cookies, bars, smoothies. Yeah, those kinds of things. Yeah,
They're kind of novelty, I feel like.
I mean, have a cookie.
Right.
Like, totally have a cookie, but if it's like way overpriced or, something like that, then, I mean, a lactation cookie is, they're good. Like all cookies. And it's a good idea to have like a granola bar or something in your purse so you don't like get too hungry throughout the day.
But I mean, you can't.
It's not going to give you like gallons of milk. You're not going to start spewing like a fountain or something.
Yeah. It's a whole process, like you can't just eat this magical thing and it's going to change everything for you. So I'm really kind of skeptical with those things. And I want, like, if a mom is seriously having a problem with her milk supply because the baby doesn't feed well and she just takes it as, oh, I can eat this cookie and it's going to fix it, like, we need to fix the real problem. So
that's the issue that I have. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing, is that's where then people think, well, I'm just going to eat a cookie and then my milk supply will bounce back.
Yeah.
When like actually you need to fix the feeding problem.
Right.
And have the cookies because they're good and you should treat yourself, and it's fun. People love giving that stuff as gifts.
I know.
And it's good. It's certainly not going to hurt.
Right.
But not addressing the problem will not.
Yeah. That's really where it comes down to. You have to address the problem.
And actually, I saw Brenda answered. She said I have to nurse my 9-month-old and pump so I can get milk to send with her dad for overnights. She hasn't started that, but trying to get ahead. Okay.
Okay.
So she's preparing to be separated from baby and.
Okay. How much milk do you plan to send? I mean, does the baby still eat a lot overnight? You shouldn't need a whole lot, really. If it's just like an overnight.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about having like low supply because of that. You just add in some pumping sessions and.
Yeah. But I also don't want you to send too much either, or feel like you have to send a ton of milk, because the baby doesn't need a ton of milk. Just maybe, 3 or 4 ounce bottle per feed.
Okay. I'm just trying to read. Can you see them too?
Yeah. There you are.
Where'd I go?
There you are. Now I see you.
Am I still clear? Like I seem kind of clear, right?
Yeah.
You guys, do you guys join us on chats a lot? Do you remember how horrible my screen quality was? I finally fixed my computer just for you.
Yeah.
Just so you didn't have to see a blur like moving about the screen anymore. I need to find a place that has better lighting. Diane is so like well lit.
Yeah, well.
I swear to God, my house is so dark. This is like it's like a real it's like a real thing in our house. We're like, where's all the lights?
Oh my gosh, I have to have like tons of light. Like,
I'd like to have it dim, but I'm like, damn, I can't even see in here.
Ever a right age to stop breastfeeding? Whatever works for you.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, Kenya, let me tell you. You might fall off your chair, but let me tell you something. I breastfed my first son until he was 6.5 years old. He just weaned a few months ago. And some people go, ew, that's disgusting. And then I say, well, fine, then don't do it. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. You can if you want. There's no.
No, do whatever you want to. people like to tell you what they think.
People will tell you all kinds of things, that after 6 months, your breast milk loses all of its nutrients. After 1, you're causing psychological harm. After 2, you're abusing your child. I mean, it's all freaking nonsense.
Ridiculous.
You got to sit down with your baby and think about like what you and your baby want as far as your breastfeeding relationship goes, and then you do that.
Yeah.
Your grandpa was breastfed until he was 7. Yeah.
Great.
That happens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's like one of the things I can't stand, is when people just come in here with their rules about how long. I mean, if you told me before I had a 6.5-year-old breastfeeding, that I was going to breastfeed him till he was 6.5, I probably would have said that was gross too. But when he was 6 years old and he was still nursing, and I was still, it's just you and your child. It's like suddenly doesn't, like, all the other stuff doesn't matter. Like, it was working for him. It's something that I felt like he needed. I mean, I wasn't, and breastfeeding changes also over time. I mean, he wasn't breastfeeding every 2 hours when he was 6.5.
I was just going to say that. And I think that's what people think of, like when they have a newborn and they say, oh my gosh, I should be breastfeeding for a year. And it's like, it's very different in a year than it does when you first have that baby. It's a very different relationship.
Yeah, it just changes like over time. And for the last, I don't know, year or 2 of it, I mean, he was nursing to sleep at night. And that was it.
Yeah.
But
Kristen, we have all sorts of podcasts.
Yeah,
we talk about aversion in the podcast a lot.
Which is one of the reasons that he was only nursing to sleep at night. Because I was like, I can't handle all of this. And so I created a lot of boundaries for myself, which there's also an episode on boundaries, which is a really popular episode, on how to do that for yourself, to make yourself comfortable if you want to keep nursing. Because aversion is definitely a thing that happens.
Yeah. So listen to that if you haven't listened to it already, Kristen. It's a good one. Does anybody listen to the podcast?
Yes. So that's what we're talking. That's what we're doing. Diane and I, hosts of the Badass Breastfeeding podcast. It is pretty much everywhere. If you're on iTunes or Google Play or Spotify, or you can go straight to our website, badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com, and you can find all of the episodes right there. And Ashley says she listens.
Yay!
Nastasia listens.
She's very
Nastasia makes me want to have another baby and name it Nastasia.
I know. Pretty.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. And so Diane and I decided that it would be really funny if we had a whole episode that was just all reading your gross stories. For example, one time when Jack was a little baby, I was doing what all the moms do, and I was holding him doing like the Superman thing above my head, and I was looking up at him and I was like, ah, and he spit up right into my mouth.
Oof.
It went right into my mouth. And so, you have all kinds of stories about like that. And so people have been emailing us their stories, and we're just going to go on the podcast and we're just going to read stories for the whole entire time.
It's going to be fun.
If you want us to read your story, then email us your story and we will read it. It's, what is it? badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. You can email us your story if you want to. We've had some people email us a picture of the grossness if they had grossness. Yeah. Just for, special effect proof, I guess, that it really happened. But
somebody did that on somebody posted a bit. We can't show maybe we can put the pictures on the website.
Might be able to.
But there is a video. Somebody posted a video when was asking for stories, and it was the mom was telling the dad, like, you know, you have to like change the diaper really fast because he's gonna pee. And dad's like, no, this is fine. I got it. And so dad like starts to change the diaper, and baby pees up into his own face.
Oh yeah, I had a baby that did that in my office once. We were dying. We were laughing so hard. The mom
got
was
video.
Oh my gosh, some video. So funny. And those, I think, are fun things you can tell your kid when he's, 15.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I'm writing the email right here, and you can send us your stories if you want us to read them, if you have a good one.
Yeah.
My first explosively pooped in my face. Oh my God. Kristen, that's funny. Kristen, she says, how old was your son when you really started to set boundaries? Okay, so he was 3. He had just turned 3, and his little brother was just born. And I realized because he was totally breastfed on demand up until I was like 8 months pregnant. And then I had my second son, and then the aversion was like more than I could handle, and I started to set boundaries. And that's one thing I regret, is not starting the boundaries a little sooner, because then Jack had to deal with these new boundaries as well as this brand new brother and all the changes that were going on in the house. And it was really, really hard for him. So I think just like introducing boundaries, like in the toddler years is, and if you want to kind of make it through the toddler years and you still want to breastfeed, I mean, I think setting the boundaries kind of slowly during that time is a great idea. Mm-hmm. And we have that boundaries episode, which we go into a lot of detail about how to do that.
Yeah. And why, and
you can't set boundaries with like your 6-month-old. You can't be like, oh, I've got, I'm overwhelmed. I mean, there's things you can do if you're overwhelmed, but starting to eliminate, nursing sessions, or starting to shorten the nursing sessions. You don't want to do that until they're older.
And everybody has to be on board with it too. You need some good support, because there are going to be days where it's going to be hard, but you have to like really be consistent. Consistency is a big.
I mean, there were days when my husband really had to keep me in line, because I was like, I just want to give in. He's crying so much. Yeah. And he's like, you're just going to reverse everything. And there were days where we like screwed it all up. And obviously we screw up. I mean, I screw up every single day. I can get to the end of the day and be like, okay, that was a bad decision. That was a bad decision.
We all survived today. That's
right. Everybody's sleeping. Yes, Ashley, you should email us that story.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? You know what? I don't even know how long we've been talking now, because we had so many technical issues at first. So again, the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast, if you have gross stories that you would like us to read, that you can think of that make you laugh, send them to us, and we will read them and have a listen to the podcast too. It's at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com.
People all over the world are going to hear your gross story.
What?
People all over the world are going to hear your gross story.
Everyone, they're going to hear your story. And Diane, you're going to hear Diane and I for 30 minutes laughing our butts off about it, because it's funny.
We're past that, so.
All right. Nikki said she posted a question a while back about colostrum. And the comments have been so wonky. I'm trying to scroll to see if I can see. Here, I got it.
Oh, good job. Quick.
Here's my question. When my second was born, it didn't feel as though I was producing any colostrum at all. I was so concerned. I made the nurse supplement formula once a day. When my milk came in, it was fine. But before, it felt as though she was never satisfied. How can I make sure I produce enough and that Babes is satisfied before my milk comes in.
That is something.
So you're concerned about having enough colostrum.
Yeah.
Having colostrum and having enough colostrum, it sounds.
Yeah. And it could have really just been that your baby just wanted to be nursing a lot in the beginning, in those first 2 days of life, which is really, really common before your milk comes in. And a lot of that is just that closeness and that security that they have with you, because being born is really hard. And it's very overwhelming and very overstimulating. And there's a lot happening there. And they just want to be glued to their mama. And they just want to suck, suck, suck and be right there and nurse and sleep and be right on your chest. And a lot of times we go, oh my gosh, they're starving. They're not getting anything from me. And that's really not what it's about. They're not starving. Their stomach is so small. It's so small. They can't even get a lot. They can't even fit a lot in that little belly. So
right, and that's why they're nursing so constantly, is because they can only fit like little drops in at a time.
Yeah, the colostrum's there. You can always, if you're unsure, you can always hand express. It comes out really easily. The thing with colostrum, though, is because we don't feel it. Like, your milk comes in, you feel so heavy, you feel it leaking sometimes, or, you can feel that fullness. But with colostrum, you just don't. So we have to trust that it's there. But it's there. It's there. She weighed 10 pounds, 9 ounces. See, this is something that I'm not sure about because, well, first of all, babies in the very beginning, like the first couple weeks of life.
Oh my God, uh-oh. Is it me or is it you? Oh God, I hope it's not me. I hope it's Diane with a problem this time. Ugh. Okay, Diane froze. Okay, so it's Diane. Thank God. I mean, not to be mean or anything, but I have so many issues technically that I really just, I'm happy that it's Diane this time and not me. I know that's really mean, but it really is true. Okay, well, she'll figure it out because she can log back in. So, okay, wait a minute. She can finish what she was saying when she comes back. And yes, Kristen, please email it, your story. I would love to see it. Okay, but I'm not frozen, right? You can see me. Finally, I'm the one who's working, right? Okay, thank you, Ashley. 29 minutes. Okay, so it's been about a half an hour, which I think the first 10 minutes was just us figuring out that. Okay, Diane just texted me. She says her internet threw her off. She should be able to. All right, you have all been so patient. I really appreciate it. Okay. I can field your Chris. Oh, you're good at me. Good. All right. Does anybody have any more questions? Because Diane can finish what she was saying, but I can field some questions too. I've learned enough from Diane that I can answer some questions. Let me scroll. Well, what can I tell you about? I can tell you that if you're Okay, is it normal? Okay, Christina, is it normal for a 12-month-old to wake several times to nurse at night? Yes, that's very normal. And I'll tell you, I know you're tired, but I'll tell you that it's also normal at 2 and 3. I'll say in my house that by 4, that wasn't happening so much. But that is very, very normal. It's even, I mean, I would say it's even common for sometimes during certain growth spurts and milestones, it's normal for them to nurse even more at night than they do during the day. Here comes Diane. So yeah, that is, hi.
My internet kicked me off.
Yeah, can I just tell you, I went on a really long rant while you were gone about how happy I was that it was finally me who was not me that had the issue. It's always me.
I have been struggling with my internet. It's just like, I don't know what the problem is, but it's been kicking me off randomly here and there. And I'm like, really tonight? Like, come on. Haven't we had any problems?
Well, at least it wasn't me. I feel like it's always me.
God.
Okay. So Christina wants to know if she was asking if it was normal for her baby to nurse all night, several times at night. So I was talking about that. And I don't, you know what? This is I mean, this is on our list, but I think a good episode would be just like specifically night nursing.
Yeah.
Like dealing with night nursing and like how normal it is for the babies to wake, because I think that's one of the things is that people really think it's not normal.
Yeah.
And
it's
so normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a long time. I mean, I actually was waking, both of my kids were waking several times a night past 3 years old to nurse. And a lot of people say, I can't take it anymore. And they'll go through the night weaning thing. But I just found, I feel like night weaning to me, that was like, so I couldn't handle it. It was so much work that I didn't want to do. It seemed like so much easier to just lay there with my boobs out. And then, you know. Okay, we still have this question. I'm gonna get this. And so, yeah, that's really normal.
Yeah, really normal. And it's so different for every kid. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, somebody, oh, well, my kid was sleeping through the night by this age, and why isn't yours? There must be something wrong.
Whenever somebody says that to you, you have to immediately stop listening to them.
They're so different. Every kid is so different.
Well, and I just think it's rude to just like, when somebody's talking about this, to just suddenly be like, well, my baby was sleeping through the night, like starting at 3 weeks old. Like, lucky for you, but that's not normal, and you're driving me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I see moms and babies all day, every day, and it's like, it is so different from one to the next. I can have 2 moms, 2 different babies. They're both the same age, and one is up every hour and the other one is sleeping for 6 straight. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it at all.
Well, and I think there's also no rhyme or reason to it throughout a baby's into toddlerhood. That kind of, you know, like you'll have a baby that's, oh, my baby is sleeping great, and now they're up every hour nursing, and something's wrong, and they're going through so much. They're growing, they're cutting teeth, they're learning all kinds of things. It just changes all the time.
There's so much happening with them, and they need you, you know, like, it's just comfort for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as breastfeeding too much. There's just no such thing. Like, and co-sleeping really, really helps, and that's another really popular episode of the Badass Breastfeeding podcast, is co-sleeping and all the different options for that, and how helpful it is to get through the night when you're all in the same room,
right,
or even all in the same bed.
Yeah.
And that's who we are again. If anybody is new here, you're super lucky, because we've had a lot of technical issues.
I know.
So we might just be like, look at these ladies, they've got it all together.
I know.
We're hosts of the Badass Breastfeeding podcast, which you can find at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com.
Yeah.
And all the other places that you find podcasts.
Listen to.
Yeah, Megan is talking about how much she loves nursing at night. You know, that's something that never, with my first, it really bothered me. I felt like I had like, it was like hurting my back and I was having a hard time getting comfortable. And by the time Exley came, I just had it down. Like I would even like kind of flip over him during the night to like just lay on the other side if I needed to get comfortable.
Yeah, it's somebody told me once too that they love nursing at night because it's like the whole world is quiet and peaceful, and you get that time with them that you never get. You don't get that uninterrupted time.
And they get so not snuggly as they get older. You know, they just want to run. They want to run away. They want to, you know, be playing, and they don't want to like sit and snuggle on your lap like they did when they were a newborn. And like, that's a time where you can just, where they're not moving.
I know. And
you can just hold them. And Exley used to like, he still does this actually, would just sticks his feet in between my thighs. He just like jams them in there. And then I can just like spoon him. It's so cute. Should we do a couple more?
Sure. Talking about weaning.
What did you see?
Oh, Monica. Monica Garcia has a 12-month-old and wants to wean. That's a whole big discussion. Yeah, there's a lot to that, you know, kind of depending on like how much your baby nurses and cutting it down. Definitely don't just like stop. We do have a podcast on this too, because it is a question that women have, and we don't want people to just like automatically stop. You have to kind of like slowly taper off.
Well, and you said, I want to wean her, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon. So you do want to wean, and she's just, you don't think she's into it? Because you can, you know, that's one of the things where like if you really feel like you do need some of that space, or you're feeling kind of touched out or whatever, that's where that boundaries episode might really help.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
Adopting some of those things where you can feel maybe a little bit more in control. Maybe you've been breastfeeding on demand for 12 months and you're starting to get really kind of overwhelmed by it. Mm-hmm. And creating some boundaries can really make you feel like you've got control of the situation again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of really good info in there. Oh, Nikki. Nikki's saying here that nurses have told her to use her free hand to keep the baby from suffocating on her boob.
Because she's got big boobs that are going to, it's very common that babies suffocate when their moms have big boobs.
You're not going to suffocate. No.
That's not what happens.
Suffocate your baby. All mamas feel like they're going to suffocate their baby with their boob. But
I did too, yeah.
Yeah. Even my small-breasted moms feel like that. As far as positions, like good positions for larger-breasted moms, sometimes it just depends on how comfortable you are. I find football hold can sometimes be really good for bigger-breasted moms because you can put them on the side, and that can kind of give you a little bit more space, and you can see a little bit better. But some moms aren't comfortable like that either. So definitely play around with it and see how you feel it's going to be best.
Yeah, I think I've seen like Google, put into Google like breastfeeding positions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can click on, if you click on images, you can do like images, you know how like Google has the different things. And there's all kinds of charts that are out there of all the different kinds of positions, and just like try a bunch.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of different things you can do. Side lying would be really good too. So, laid back. There's a lot of different ones. But you won't suffocate her.
No. Why would a nurse say that? Like, that's what a mom needs to hear is like, well, you might suffocate your baby because you have big boobs.
Like you're not already in a...
Oh, yeah, like you're not feeling vulnerable enough. And then that's just silly. That doesn't happen.
No, it's creepy. the breast is heavy, they can't support the weight. So it is good to hold it because your baby can't support the weight of that heavy breast when they're little like that, but you're not going to suffocate.
No, like you would let that happen. You're holding your baby. Right. Like that's not.
I mean, babies don't feed if they can't breathe. And quite honestly, the only time I've ever seen that happen is if a baby has a cold and they're really stuffed up and nasally. And they
then they let go.
And breathe through their nose, then they just come off.
Let go. Yeah.
But
it's just a reflex.
Yeah. They can breathe. I know, Nikki, there's always questions. Even when things are going good, it's like there's always something that comes up.
Well, Nikki, do you listen to the podcast? Because some of your questions could be answered there. And then if you have other questions or suggestions, like for topics that you'd like us to cover, then you can just let us know.
Yeah,
add them to our list. Well, no. I mean, I feel like if you shift baby like a little,
then
you just free their nostrils. If you just shift them a little bit.
Yeah.
If their nostrils are free, then they can breathe. I mean, if they're still nursing and they're still latched on, then they're breathing.
Yeah, make sure you position nose to nipple. That way they are pulled back further and their nose won't be pressed up against the breast as hard or as much.
Yeah. Yeah, go scroll through the topics because I think there's 54 episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So you can probably get some answers there.
Yeah, we have yet to run out of things to talk about.
No, and that list, the topic list just gets longer and longer.
Oh.
And they're like good topics too. Like I don't think there's any on there where I'm like, eh.
No, there's good stuff.
Okay, so everybody's going to be listening, right?
And we run like contests and stuff like that periodically. We do have a big one coming up. We are going to have a big contest coming up, and sometimes Abby will do contests on her page about like, favorite episodes and things like that, and reviews. Occasionally, like if you leave a review on iTunes, we will be reading those and doing prizes and stuff like that for that too. So definitely hit a review up on iTunes if you like the podcast, and stay tuned for some contests and things like that.
And the comment section is now open under each episode on the website. So you guys can comment and you can either talk with each other or talk with us about the episode.
Yeah.
So, okay. So everyone will be listening now. That's exciting.
Yay. And I'm glad you stuck it out tonight. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for dealing with this. I totally blame Be Live for everything that happened because it
could, like, come on, we're just sitting here, like.
I know. Okay. Well, we're also live every 2 weeks, so we can. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. We'll be having some other kind of technical difficulty, I'm sure, but
right.
we'll work our way through it. We always do. So
yeah, all right. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening so much.
Bye, ladies. Bye.